Good evening everyone and welcome along to FRL. We are here for F1 action. It is season number 14. It is round 13 of the championship as we take on the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from the Yas Marina circuit. My name is James Head, going to be taking to the stream as always on a Tuesday night. And I'm all alone here tonight because Jesse is sadly unavailable. If you're wondering where an F2 stream is also, it's normally set up by now. F2 has no commentators tonight, so unfortunately, if you're tuning in and expecting F2 is probably not going to have a commentator here tonight and probably not going to have a live stream either. Such a shame because Stephen's on holiday and Bullboy is pulled out very late on indeed, which is, I think, typical for F2 to be honest. I get though it's half-term holiday, Stephen definitely needs a break from what he's been doing in F2 and hopefully it is going to be a good race there, as it is going to be a good race of course tonight in terms of these standings, and hopefully we're going to be getting everyone, people are having a bit of issue joining the lobby here, which hopefully we'll be able to get in. Jensen is now on top of that, which is good, which I can now focus on in terms of commentary, of course, and take you through the championship standings going after last week, of course. And it's Montana who, of course, took another win out on track in the sprint and in the feature race, of course, in Monza. Second in both races that day was Jensen, and in third was Stephen Osh, and he also finished third in the feature race as well as the sprint. So the same top three as last time. Montana leads the way for 22 points coming into tonight from Jensen in second on 164. Jensen is making a 100th appearance in FRL F1 tonight as well. Barak in third on 127, sadly not available here tonight. Ruti in fourth on 114, Lou fifth on 108, then Jonas sixth on 87, Tom seventh on 66, Matey C in eighth on 47, Kazizel in ninth on 44, and then in 10th is Physico on 33 points. Running through the constructors standings as well. Haas leading the way on 236 points, Alpine second on 201, AlphaTauri third on 189, McLaren fourth on 133, Mercedes fifth on 125, Williams in sixth on 112, Alfa Romeo seventh on 99, Ferrari in eighth on 76, Aston Martin ninth on 70, and Red Bull in 10th on 61 points. So there's the rundown of both the constructors and the drivers' standings, of course, coming into tonight. Montana does take that 22-point lead coming into tonight. Jensen, I have a feeling, though, might just try and strike back. He was very good around here in TTML earlier on in the season, around here in Yas Marina, and hopefully it is going to be one of those races where we get to see the championship protagonists at the fore coming into tonight's action, of course, here on track tonight. F2, by the way, is going to have an F2 delay at this moment in time, so if you're expecting F2, as I say, probably not going to be any commentary here tonight. It looks like everyone is readying up for F2. We're going to get going very soon indeed for F1. I'll try and bring you updates if I can about F2, just to try and make up for the lack of stream that we've got, as I alluded to at the start of the stream there. Stephen on holiday, Bullboy sadly not available, and no other commentators available all of a sudden as well, which is really disappointing, I think, because I know you guys here in the FRL community want as many live streams as possible, as many races as possible going on at the same time, and we want as many viewers as possible coming into tonight as well. So if you are expecting F2, don't worry, you can still sit here and watch F1 while I try and update you, of course, on what is happening in F2 as well. So I'm going to try and do a double shift here tonight, and a solo commentary, and host the lobby. It's not easy, is it? But we'll try and get everything going very soon indeed. I believe we are waiting for one more driver to join the lobby. I think it might be Mentos, if I'm not mistaken. I'm clicking on the wrong controller and thinking that is the lobby one. But yeah, I think we are waiting on Mentos to join. So Mentos, not sure if you can join. I know the last time, so I'm just going to go blue screen just to invite him again. I know the last time we had Mentos in was a few weeks ago, and he had problems then, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of joining lobbies. I'll try and get him in if I can. Oh, he's already here. What am I on about? Mentos is already here. Goodness me. So I'm just waiting there. We're not waiting for anyone, I believe, and that is us ready to go here tonight. We are missing one driver, though, I believe. I'm not sure who it is. YS Brand is in, Euro is in. Everyone pretty much scheduled is in to go, and that means we're going to go as well. Oh, we are not meant to ready up, apparently. That's what people are now saying. It looks like everyone's now having a flurry of unreadiness here in the lobby. And yeah, I'm going to quickly change one of the settings if I can. Change it to that. There we go. That fixed it. Yeah, there we go. So Abu Dhabi, everyone's now running up, and we are waiting for one more driver, I believe, to join. Not sure who it is. Not sure who we're missing here tonight. Petter Vol wasn't filled in for, apparently. So Petter Vol, apparently there might be another reserve coming in. Not sure who it's going to be, though, in terms. Good evening, by the way, to Ivo and Jesse. Jesse, my co-commentator, of course, normally alongside me. He's away, sadly, tonight as well. Hopefully, he's going to be enjoying from wherever he's going to be viewing this race from as well. Sapala apparently could be the driver to join, potentially for F1, and that would be a full grid. But it doesn't look like Sapala can actually race here tonight. Marnix, however, might be able to. He's putting in a message at the minute in the Discord. So I'll just try and bring you up to date on what is happening with Marnix. Of course, very, very good, and he can race. So yeah, Marnix can race, and hopefully it is going to be some really good driving, of course, out on track. Not sure why Bunty has shared the most improved driver being relentless mentalist in the chat. That's the randomest thing I think I've ever seen on the F1 chat, to be honest. And then putting in more images about what does this source reveal to you about the impact of North Sea oil and Britain's economics. Doesn't come from Sunderland, that's what I can tell you, Bunty, if you're doing economics. Definitely doesn't come from Sunderland, definitely doesn't come from the northeast coast, for that matter, as well. But Ivo there, Jesse in the comment section as well. Let me know, of course, how you are doing in terms of the top three. We have got Marnix, I believe, in the session, which is good. Very familiar name, of course, to me, because I used to commentate on them back in a good few seasons ago. He was a good driver in F1 back in the day on previous games, so if he's anything like what it is in the best of times, Marnix could be quite a good driver to watch out for here tonight. But we are about to get going. Jesse saying also in the chat that it is going to be Lou's final race here in FRL, and he is leaving purely based on, well, I know why he's leaving, and I'm not going to give you the reason why he is actually leaving for, but obviously personal issues and everything going on in life, and of course personal life taking precedence over everything at this stage. And obviously Lou is deciding to move on from FRL. Now, I have spoken to him about his future plans, and I believe he's coming into TTML, if I'm not mistaken, for no assists next season, so could be putting up against Jensen and the likes. Tom Robbo as well, of course, our champion. But yeah, I believe he is going to be going no assists, if I'm not mistaken, next season on the new game. And by the way, I want to try and spawn up a little bit of chat in the comment section. What did you think about the little trailer that got released for the F1 22 game? I thought it wasn't actually too bad. I had to look through back at it again, and it looks actually not too bad. Apparently there's new pit stop errors in. 3 new My Team icons, of course, Nico Hulkenberg, Jack Villeneuve, and can't remember the other one off the top of my head, Mark Webber, that's the other one. And yeah, I really believe that was really good My Team icons there, but we will see what is going to happen out on track, first of all, here in FRL F1. It's a bit of a solo David Allison sort of commentary here tonight, so if you've ever watched BTCC or Porsche Carrera Cup or anything like that, and you've heard David Allison commentate before, I'm going to be a bit like him here tonight, just by myself. Mental saying he's got a qualifying ban as well. In fact, I will run through the qualifying bans out on track. I'll just try and find the stewards event. The steward report, I should say. Looking in the chat, in the comms chat there for a second. But yeah, Mentos has got a 3 qualifying bans for both, or for all, Mentos, Calamer, and Rocco. 2 of them are here tonight. Rocco and Mentos are both here, so both of them need to serve up a qualifying ban. Of course, Rocco, I would assume, if he's been told, he would just come into the pit lane, get a setup on, and he can come back into the pit lane. So that will be one of the ones to watch out for in terms of that. One of the first men out on track is Jensen, and goodness me, we've got a whole load of cars running down the straight in towards turn number 8, and it's almost as if we're having that end of season event like we did last season for Hawk leaving in the army. It's a bit like that, to be honest, heading towards turn number 8. Jensen, one of the first men out on track. I'm trying to pick up, actually, who is the first man. I believe it's our championship leader that's the first man. It is Bunty. Sorry, not Bunty. Bunty's not championship leader. It's Montana, who is the championship leader, and he is the first man out on track. He's coming now through the left-hander of turn 13. Of course, 21 turns around this track. In the new layout, of course, there's only 15 turns in terms of Abu Dhabi, and it's a shorter circuit as well, 4.2 kilometres in length, and it's around 4.6 kilometres in length, so it has really shortened in terms of the track limits and everything around here because of the new track layout, which of course got previewed in the feature, the feature trailer earlier on. But let's ride on board with Montana. He's coming around the final corner on the run towards the line, and the Alpha timing now sets us up around Abu Dhabi. We should be seeing 133s, I think, from the top guys here tonight. So we run now down in towards turn number 1, on board with Montana, the Swiss man, coming through turn number 1, and right there slightly, now through the left-hander of 2. Then to the right-hander of turn number 3, takes the bollard for good measure out with him as well, which is, I think, good, because he's the first man out on track, and it's a 17-1 through the first sector. As track evolution obviously comes to play, we should be seeing drivers out on track going for, I would say, what, 133s, I would say, 16.9s in the first sector we should be seeing from there. You, good evening to you in the chat. Ivo putting in the comments section as well, and I'll try and read your comments as we go along. But Montana now coming through the final corner. There's already been a spinner, actually, through the final corner. Not sure who that might have been. Rocco, by the way, is on a lap, so that's a bit concerning. Rocco was on a lap. He has got a qualifying ban. Davidenko was crashed out coming through turn number 2. And Montana on this lap, in towards the left-hander of turn 11, 57.4 in the middle sector. Level thereabouts what we saw in when was it? TTML, I think, around here that I covered a couple of weeks ago. Montana really fights the car coming down to turn 13. Now past the Marina on the right-hand side through 14, 15, and then towards the triple line of 15, 16, 17, and then into the left-hander of turn 18. I'm miscounting corners as we go along. Coming now through turn 19, getting very close to the wall. Wall almost comes out at you coming through turn 19, to be honest there. Through turn 20, and then in towards turn 21, Montana. I think it's going to be 134 to set off the night. Montana to the line, and there's a 134.4 to set off the night, which is very good. Monix invalidated on his lap. Yoro on a lap as well. We will see more improvements as Lou goes quickest. 34 flat. Was confident coming into his Ruti has actually crashed just in this section here. So Ruti has crashed coming through turn 19. Bit like a Latifi sort of moment in 2021 through there for the Finn. But Yoro's coming through the final corner. LFR man should go 4th, I think, with this lap on the run to the line. And yeah, 35.5, he goes 4th. Not a bad lap there at all. Monix, as I say, is invalid. Hawk coming around the final corner. And the other McLaren out on track, and he comes to the line, and he goes 6th ahead of YS Brand, who's yet to get a real valid lap time in just at this moment in time. Bunty, who obviously got driver of the day last week as well from me. No bias towards him there at all. But Bunty is just starting up on another lap. Harmon's invalidated. MedTC, though, nearly going through a tyre, coming through turn 20. And then to the right-hander of turn 21. It's Lou out on top, Macho second, Montana in third. MTC is going to put it up there. I think he goes 4th, 34.8. But the big thing is Mentos has retired back into the pit lane, so he's clearly got a lap in. Rocco, by the way, has set a lap time. So 35.2 from Rocco. He was informed, I believe, he will be getting a 30-second penalty at the end of the race, which is obviously in the rules and regulations. But yeah, in terms of the qualifying bans, it was updated yesterday, so we should have read it. Rocco picked up 3 penalty points at Monza. Kalama did the same as well at Monza, and Mentos had a qualifying ban, was yet to be served from Belgium, and that was the last race, of course, that he actually attended. But good to see. Lou out on top though, Macho in second, Montana in third at this point in time. Vaporizer on a lap time as well, but he's actually invalidated through the middle sector. Bunty also doing the same. Harmon on a lap though. On a set of medium compound tyres, we've currently got the best compound tyres, the tyre compounds that they're actually on, or going on to. So this is a new thing that I've introduced in this week. Lou out on top, Macho second, Montana in third. And Rocco apparently has to disqualify in qualifying. Yeah, he could do. I mean, he could do. Be technically 7 up his qualifying ban if he gets disqualified, I guess. In theory. But we'll have to wait and see. Holman runs wide, coming through turn 15. Or turn 14 even. Then in towards 15, 16 and 17. And yeah, Jesse's saying in the chat, I think he hasn't been... he doesn't know that he's got a qualifying ban. I'm led to that impression as well. And obviously, better communication, I think, would be the answer to that from stewards and from admins in terms of reminding drivers of their qualifying ban. Mentos got informed in the chat about half an hour before, and he was totally fine with it, which is understandable. He knew he had a one overreaching him in qualifying. Marnix is on the lap though, the LFR man. Former, if I dare say, NSX man? Do I dare say that in the chat? Please, somebody answer. But 35.1 faster than the medium runners. So that's a good lap time by Marnix, the LFR man, into 5th position. Swear he was a part of NSX back in the day, unless I'm imagining that and I've dreamt about him or something. He's there in 5th position, fastest on the mediums, and the Ferrari looking quite good in qualifying so far. Stephen Osh is on the lap as well, 21.5 in the first sector. He's not on a valid lap here, I think he's on a cooldown lap if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he's about 10 seconds off what we normally see through the middle sector. Jensen on a lap coming through the first sector, 17.2 in the first sector. Now, the quick guys will be going 16.9, 16.8 through the first sector. Guarantee that as the session goes on. Phil there in the comment section as well saying, come on Bunty, keep up your great form, good luck. And Jesse saying, Rocco knows it now. I think he said in the Discord F1 chat. He's probably been listening to me, and I've been reminding him on the actual chat. Yeah, Rocco saying someone needs to tell him before he's actually given one. And I totally understand that, because the communication was not there in terms of that qualifying ban. Ludo out on top, Macho second, Montana in third, Jensen second in the championship on a lap. The VSR man making his 100th appearance in FRL F1 this week. So now comes through the right-hander of turn 12, through the left-hander of 13, just corrects himself slightly, and he's just invalidated coming out of turn 13. So that's unfortunate there. Rocco saying in the chat as well, in the Discord this is, it's fine, but I just thought it was a general tag. I don't care enough to read the whole report. And to be honest, I totally understand that as well, because I'm probably one of them people who's guilty of doing that as well if I was actually driving in FRL, but I'm not, which is good. Montana, though, is coming through the final couple of corners. I think he's going to be one of the first men to set up on a lap. Lou is right behind him as well. On a lap, this is cheeky from the Haasma. Obviously, he's got to back off at around 3 seconds, I think, to Montana. That wheel, by the way, is still there coming through turn 19 from Rusi's collision with the wall. And now coming through the right-hander of turn 21. We'll go on board with Montana once again. 34.4. Track evolution now should be quite prime as we go towards the mid-end of the mid-part of the session. So 34.4. Oh, it's Montana gets caught on the inside curve. Nearly sent the car spinning, but I think he was a little bit quicker coming through there. Through turn 2, through the right-hander of turn number 3. And then on the downhill running towards turn 4. And that's more like it in terms of a first sector. 17.1 once again. So now comes the left-hander of turn 7 at the hairpin. Of course, that would be turn 5 on the new game. Famously where, of course, Verstappen and Hamilton famously overtook each other, and we don't want to obviously mention that too often on this stream. Blue out on top, Macho second, Montana in third. Just trying to keep up to date with what's happening in F2 as well. Not sure if there's actually a stream going for F2, and there isn't. So no F2 stream here tonight. But I'll try and update you in the chat, in the Discord, in terms of what's happening out there. People were saying about the potential championship implications after tonight as well. Montana, though, through the middle sector, not really on a great lap, if I've got to be honest. I'm very critical of Montana normally. 500th up in the middle sector, though. We should be expecting more of our championship leader, and maybe even a championship elect coming into tonight. We now come through the right-hand of turn 17. On board with him, but it's Lou out on top, Macho second, Montana in third, halfway through qualifying, as I've already alluded to here, as we now come through turn 19. That wall really comes running at you through 19, then to the right under 20, then through turn 21. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. I think that's a Williams that might be round in the middle sector. Montana though to the line, he goes quickest. Wow, there's a final sector to behold, and Lou's back in the pit lane, and Rocco was being disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane, so at least that is some form of taking a qualifying ban. Of course, he didn't really get informed. I'm sure there'll be something given about that. But Montana now out on top. That's the big news here. Lou in second, Macho there in third. Just trying to see if there's anybody on a lap. Meti C is on a lap. And he's now coming through the left-hander of turn 18. Former F1 Esports Challengers driver, of course. And Meti C now on the run in towards turn number 20. Veal Hammerlinen, of course, is his full name. And the Finn, the flying Finn of FRL, comes around the final corner, on the run to the line. And he goes fourth. Not a bad lap, actually, from EdTC. Looked a little bit off in the final couple of corners there. Vaporizer was retired out on track, I believe. So Vaporizer was retired, and that's through turn 20. Just picked up on that, actually. So for turn 20, Vaporizer round. Unfortunately for him, not going to be getting a valid lap time in. Charlie saying in the chat as well, Lou for the win. Jesse saying as well, yeah, he knows it in the Discord. Just try to see if there's anybody else in the chat that I'm ignoring. Please pop up so I can say good evening to you. But Montana out on top, Lou in second, Macho third, ATC fourth, Yarvo fifth, YS Brown the Frenchman in sixth, Monix in seventh, Harmon in eighth, Physico in ninth, and Hawk ran off the top 10. Bunty on a lap 57.8 in the middle sector in the Aston Martin. Now right on board with them, coming out of turn 13, 14, 15, 16, and then into the right-hander here of turn 17. Jensen's on a lap as well, coming through the middle sector. He's just started on one, and was a 17-1 in the first sector, so Jensen will try and respond to Montana's pole lap time at this moment in time. Normally you would see 32s, 33s around here. Not tonight, I don't think. Bunty to the line though. He goes 7th, ahead of his teammate by 14 hundredths of a second. That was on multiple runs on that set of soft compound tyre as well. Jensen's still in a valid lap, 57.5 in the middle sector, so there or thereabouts in Montana. Montana picked up 4 tenths in that final sector, so Jensen has to find something here to try and challenge the leaders. With 5 minutes to go in the session, Montana out on top, Lou in second, Macho in third, Jensen coming through turn 17. Then to the left hand of turn 18, underneath the grandstand now. It's a lovely halo camera angle. I was expecting something else there, to be honest. Helicopter cam, maybe. Through turn 20. And then to the right hand of turn 21. Jensen looking good on this lap. Is he going to go provisional pole? No. Full short goes 5th. 5th for Jensen. 34.4. Montana's 4 tenths ahead of him. I've been looking at that and thinking, where on earth can I find the improvement? And honestly, if I was Jensen, I'd be looking probably and thinking, I probably can't improve on that lap time, because there's so many drivers that are obviously behind and just gone on to a set of softs and they haven't improved either. Jensen's actually in a pretty good spot compared to where Bunty, Ryan, Marnix, who we know are quick drivers, necessarily are. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector, ignore that because there's just drivers backing down off a lap. Marnix, however, is backing onto a lap as we now come through the final corner on board with the LFR man. Now comes down in towards turn number 1. There's a couple of lot coming through turn number 1 there. Do the left hand return 2, do the right hand return number 3, and we'll see what his first sector is like. It was nicely negotiated by Marnix. So the first sector, 17.1, so he's up there in the first sector. Now coming through the chicane of 5 and 6, and then into the left hand of the hairpin of turn 7. Montana out on top, Lou in second, Macho in third at this moment in time. About a second covering the top 10 at this point. Stephen Osh as well, yet to settle lap time, he's gone back onto a set of mediums and he's just gone on for another lap in fact. Jensen is on a down lap I think, as is Macho, who I think has just started one, but I believe he's just invalidated coming through turn number 3. So Macho's invalidated there. Marnix though still on this lap. The LFR man has looked quite quick, it's looked pretty neat, I've got to be honest, to this point onwards. From Marnix through the middle sector, 57.4. That's more like it in terms of the pace that I know he's got in him. And Marnix now comes to the left-hander of 13, to the left-hander of 14, and then in towards this very tricky triple right-hand corner. Of course, Rosberg, famously in 2012, had a collision through this part of the track as we now dive in towards 17, then into the left-hander of turn 18. And Marnix should be going third, I think, with this lap. He's looking very, very good on this lap, I've got to say. Wouldn't even be surprised if he tried to challenge Montana. As soon as I say that, though, he's invalid coming out of turn 20 and took too much curve on the inside. Unfortunate lap for Marnix. He was looking good up until that point. Macho, as I've already alluded to, has actually run out of fuel. So Macho has run out of fuel. Stephen Osh, though, 57.8 in the middle sector's not too bad. Looking good here with Stephen Osh. Maybe to go 8th position ahead of Bunty, I would assume. Dutchman in towards 17. Oh, very deep on the brakes there. Beautiful, though. Through 18. To the left-hand return 19. Montana out on top, Lou in second, Macho on third. Everyone getting prepared for their final laps. Montana has just gone on for a lap, so we'll go on board with him in a second. And Stephen Osh now coming through the final corner. He's absolutely launched it through these corners. This is a really good lap from Stephen on the run to the line. 34.7 has put him 8 on a set of mediums. Watch out for him in the race, because that was an absolute blistering lap on a set of mediums from Stephen Osh, as Mark is entitled to stay. That the top 10. Montana through the first sector, 200 up. Lou through the first sector, 500 up. So there's the improvement there from Lou in the first sector, but it's all about the middle and the final sectors to come. We'll run above Montana first. Lou is just coming out the hairpin. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him, I believe, as well. The two Aston Martins, or one of the Aston Martins, is there alongside him running down the straight. I believe that might be Bunty. Montana into the chicane. Doesn't want to be hanging like a cow, of course, in 2019. Got a little bit of cheeky slipstream from Yarrow if he decides to move out of the way, which he does. Montana on the run in towards the end of the middle sector. And it's gained him the time. He's a 10th and a half up. Lou coming through the middle sector in terms of comparison in this middle sector. And it's a 57.2 as well. So he's a 10th up. They're both. Montana's 2 tenths up. Lou's a 10th up at this point. Now in towards turn 17 with Montana. Is this a pole position lap from the Swiss man? He's got the Dutchman in behind chasing him down. He's just coming through that complex there in towards 16 and 17. There's another, I thought there was another crash coming through there, but there's not. There's a Mercedes getting out of the way. I think it was TC. There's now Montana round the final corner on the run to the line. Shooting, this is a 33 for Montana. And it is 33.9. But Lou coming to the final couple of corners. What's he going to do? Comes around the final corner. Is he going to defeat Montana? Yes, he does by a 10th and a half. Lou had a really blistering final sector there. 33.8. Montana's probably banging on that steering wheel of his. And he's absolutely fuming because Lou has outdone him in qualifying. Lou out on top, Montana in second. Macho, though, 57.3 in the middle sector, is nearly 3 tenths up, and he could try and spoil the party. Runs wide through the final corner and in the wall. And he actually improves on the lap time to 34.1, 2/10 improvement, but Macho didn't manage that in third. If that was a good final quarter, he probably would have got maybe even Montana. Matey C on a lap as well. I think he's actually done on a lap, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's not. He's on the run into the final couple of corners in the middle sector. But Lou for the moment out on top, Montana in second. Anything can still happen in this session though. We've got the likes of TC, Jensen still to come. They're in the middle sector. Are they going to improve 6 tenths though on Lou's time? Well, let's wait and see. TC, no, he's down. I'm going to go on board with Jensen though, who I think is probably going to improve in this middle sector. What can the championship protagonists do? In towards turn number 11, and he's only a 10th up. I think Lou might have this, you know. Jensen coming through the middle sector, now through the final sector, through 10-14. Beautiful through 14. And now in towards the gleam of the sun begins to set in the night sky here in Abu Dhabi in the desert as Jensen now comes through the right-hander of 17, through the left-hander of turn 18. This is going to have to be perfect, and it's not because he's just invalidated through turn 18. There's a Red Bull round as well in the final sector. I think that might be Davidenko or Yarrow it is. It's Yarrow that's actually round coming through turn 19. Stephen Osh not on a lap. Bunty's not on a lap either. Yona not on a lap. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is the end of qualifying, and it is that man there coming into the pit lane. It is Lou out on top for Montana in second. Macho in third. LFR beat NSX in the first bragging rights of the night here in Abu Dhabi. For the Dutchman out on top. And it's not often you see a driver who's planning on leaving the league after this race, a 10th and a half clear of the championship leader. Lou on his day, honestly, I'm just going to say it now, he can probably beat Montana. He can probably beat him, and this is the track to beat him at. It's Lou out on top. For Montana in second, Macho there in third. Will wait on the rest of the field, of course, to retire. Jesse saying as well, will Lou be that dominant as last season? No, I don't think he'll have it his own way in the race, and I'll tell you why in a few moments' time when we wait, of course, for drivers to retire. But Stephen Osh there, 8th position for Stephen Osh, 34.7. It's not a bad lap on a set of mediums. As I say, watch out for him. He's going to be lightning quick on that set of softs. See you. Lou though out on top by a 10th and a half for Montana in second. Macho there in third. YS Brand, the Frenchman, again towards the top end of the field and fourth for the QRT team. MTC there in fifth. Jensen there in sixth. Yaro in seventh, running the Ukrainian flag, which of course is very good. Stephen Osh there in eighth. Fezico in ninth, and Montana. Sorry, not Montana. Bunty running off the top 10. There was a comment about Montana that came into the chat. That's why I saw that. Ryan in 11th. Monix in 12th. Yona 13th. Harman 14th. Hawk there in 15th. And then the drivers had set no times. Davidenko, Mentos, who had a qualifying ban, starting 17th. Routine vaporizers didn't get valid lap times in, and Rocco, of course, got him disqualified. He's starting right at the back of the field. But we now transition into the race here in Abu Dhabi. And Lou versus Montana, it will be, says Jesse. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Both of them are consistent. If I was a betting man between them both, I'd probably say Montana has the edge. And it's just in terms of race pace and just in terms of his tyre management that I think he's got the pace to withstand the onslaught that will come. Lou was dominant around here last season. Totally get that. But I think Montana may be the favourite to take the win here. Lou is going to be there or thereabouts. And honestly, I'm just going to put it out there now. I think Stephen Osh has got a really good chance. From starting that set of mediums, he is on the best strategy out of everyone in the top 10 and probably in the whole field as well. So Stephen Osh, they're in 8th position. Watch out for him in this race, because the Dutchman is going to be absolutely carving his way through the field on the alternate strategy. Marnix as well, saying in the chat he's liking the alternate, the strategy as well, the alternative strategy as well, and he's starting in 12th position. Ryan, by the way, I think Physical actually got in the top 10. Which I didn't even mention. Physical got in the top 10 there as well. But we are now on the formation lap. And it's Lou out on top, Montana second, Macho on third. Majority of the top 10 qualifying on that set of soft compound tyres. Apart from Stephen Osh in 8th position on that set of mediums. He's going to be in the fresher strategy of everyone. And this is going to be his time maybe to shine and try and get a podium here tonight. But there's so many good drivers here. You really can't really pick a bunch out in terms of the actual race win at this point, but I'll give you my top 3 of course at the end of the formation. That as everyone else further down the field going for that one-stop strategy, mediums it is going to be for everyone. Ryan, Marnix, Yona, Harman, Hawk, Davidenko, Mentos, who had a qualifying ban, Ruti, who crashed out early in qualifying on a set of mediums, Vaporizer, and Rocco also on a set of mediums. And I know for a fun fact Rocco likes this track in Abu Dhabi. He's got a podium around here before an LOE, and Rocco, I have a feeling, is potentially going to be one of the spoils of the party from further down the field. Ruti, I think, exactly the same. 18th position. Finn, watch out for him. He's going to have cracking pace if he doesn't get caught up in any first lap collision. He's got really good pace, and I'm going to throw a big curveball as well. Harman. Harman is a big curveball, and I think if he is on his form and on his pace, he's going to be up there, I think, as well, maybe within the top 10 at the end of the race. Jesse there in the comment section saying Lou, Montana, Stephen for the top 3. Hopefully that's not old Stephen for 3rd position. He's on holiday, sunning himself somewhere, I am sure. F2, by the way, the end of qualifying. Pepine saying he's got P6. Charlie's on in P8 on a set of medium compounder tyres. Not sure what is happening in terms of the full grid order, but that's what I'm just seeing there in the chat. And if you are wondering about why F2 is not live tonight, Ball Boy is through a clanger and not obviously attended, and Stephen, as I've just alluded to, is on holiday as well. I'm hoping he's enjoying it more than what he would be doing commentating on F2 around Abu Dhabi tonight, which I think is good. Either in the comment section there saying Lou, Macho, Montana, and here is my top 3. I'm going to go Montana for the win, Lou for 2nd, and for 3rd, I'm going to go for Ruti down in 18th for 3rd position. Bit of a wild one, but just correct me if I'm right at the end of the stream. But there we are. Mitch saying in the chat as well, hello James, good luck with commentating. Thank you very much. It is a bit of a lonely commentary box tonight, but I'm going to enjoy it nonetheless. As the 5 red lights are coming on here in Abu Dhabi for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, round 13 of the championship, and it is Lights out and away we go, and Lou gets a very good start. Montana will try and cut across, and he actually gets the better phase of the start, and Montana will lead in towards turn number 1. Lou around the outside, they'll try to hang him there, and Lou's forced off track by Montana. Montana leads through turn 1. Lou there in second, Macho in third. They pull away from YS Brandon in 4th, Jensen in 5th. Yarwell gets the inside on him, ATC. He's doing his into 6th. Clear run, as Harmon, I think, has got caught in trouble coming through the first sector, so Harmon's round there, and Yarwell goes down the inside line, and Jensen, and Lou has spun! Lou has spun from second position, got caught in the inside curb, I think, through turn 5, and it sent him spinning round. He's all the way down in 15th. Montana now blazes the trail out in front from Macho in second, and then it's NSX 1-2, YS Brandon third, Jensen in 4th. Yo had a real an attempt to try and get the move in towards turn number 4, didn't get the move done through there, and Yo now is on the back of Jensen, hunting him down. Stephen Osh is up in position. Lou is gaining a position again on Hawk, and Devanenko and Ryan are having a fight further down the field as well. But it looks like Montana might have turned in, potentially, to Lou. I don't think that was the case. Lou got forced out wide there by Montana. No turning at all, certainly from the camera angle that we saw. And if that was side-by-side coming through turn number 4, the guys should know better, I think. Montana, though, leads the way for Macho in second, YS Brown and third. Devanenko's caught trouble at the back of the field as well. So we're on board with MTC on the back of Yarrow. Montana leads the way. Macho there in second. YS Brandon third. However controversial you might think that start actually is, Lou there, 13th position. He has gained a few positions though, which is good. He's got to get back in that rhythm now and just try and focus on everything that's going to happen in front of him. Speaking of which, Jonas off wide, and he's gone into the wall, I think, coming out of turn number 20. Montana sets the fastest lap of the race, and trouble, of course, for Harmon and Davidenko. They're both into the pit lane at the back of the field. Jonas runs out wide, and he's now back in the race in 18th. Montana leads the way. Macho in second, YS Brand there in third. So apparently it looked like that turn 4 incident potentially could have been a turn in for Montana or Macho, but on Lou. But from the camera angle that we saw, I didn't catch that at all on my camera angle. I apologise to anyone. But on the camera angle that we saw, the only thing that I would say about turn 1, Lou was on the outside line. Montana had the gap in towards turn 1, and Lou just went too deep in towards turn 1, forced it out wide. He was going to have marble on the tyres, and that's probably why he's then been forced off, obviously, by then. But Montana out on top, Macho in second, YS Brandon third, Stewart said Shewer. We'll have a look at that instant for Shewer. Physical got through, and Bunty, by the way, he's into 8th position. The Finn on the back now of the Dutchman Stephen Osh, who's had a really good start in terms of position gains, by the way, out on track as well. There are the position gains. Lou has lost 11. Ruti, though, is going for 4 position gains now, and he's through on Hawk into turn 11. Nice job there by the Finn. And he's through, and he's into 14th position as Lou makes another position past Mentos, who runs out wide at turn 13 and 14. Just Jesse, yeah, saying about that incident, lap 1, turn 4. We didn't see that, as I say. We didn't see that on the stream. So apologies that we didn't catch that in its full entirety. Just so much going on at the end of lap 1. But Montana leads the way. YS Brand sets the fastest lap of the race. He's 2 tenths quicker than Montana on the last lap around. Most positions gains, by the way. Mentos gained 5, Rocco's gained 4, Ruti has gained 4 as well. Most positions lost, of course. Lou losing 10 positions off the start. But the DRS is now enabled. So that will mean Montana leading the way from Macho in second, YS Brand in third. And potentially, are we going to see NSX drivers free to race here tonight? Now, there's been concern from a few drivers actually in the past here in FRL about Macho and Montana being led to race. I think today they should be led to race. They've got pace, they've got pretty much the field chasing them down. And I would say, let them fight if they are going to fight. Lou gains another position through on Marnix in towards, as he slides, coming through turn number 8 and gets caught in a little bit of Constantino effect as well. Marnix there in 11, Mentos there in 12. Bit of an accordion effect coming through the chicane there. As now MTC, he's on the inside line of Yoa. Dives it to the inside line. Is he going to get the car stopped? Just about. Yoa cannot find a way through. And MTC, late on the brakes. I think Yoa just let him have that one, to be honest. MTC through, and he's in to 5th position out on track. Neil Arnold there saying in the chat as well, Montana's fault. Lou bounced on the curb into Montana. Nothing Montana can do. He left enough space. So yeah, as I said, inside curb turn 4. That's deadly at the best of times. Pretty much call it exactly what we saw, I think, in terms of what we saw from our end on the stream. That is for sure. But as I say, Stewart will have a look into that. If it is a catch on the curb, probably no further action, I would say. If not, maybe a racing incident at the very least, as Ryan is out of the session, coming out turn 20. That might be the first safety car of the night, and indeed it is. And Jona's just passed the pit lane. Jona just passes the pit lane. So unfortunate. But now, we are under a safety car period, so we can calm things down now. Montana out on top. Macho there in second. YS Brand there in third. And the safety car is now out for the first time out on track. And I'm going to have a look at Lou's POV. If he is alive, I'm going to have a look at his POV. I'm just going to go off the stream for a second. And I'm going to ride on board with what we saw at turn number 4. So this was just further on. Ah, here we go. Montana's there. Oh, yeah, he gets caught on the inside curb. So just looking at Lou's instant, I wish I had a replay to show you on that. But basically what's happened there, Montana's got wide out of turn number 3. Lou is coming at him, using the ERS, down the inside line, gets caught on the sausage curb on the inside, falls into Montana, and that's where the contact has been made. Nothing Montana could have done, probably didn't even realise he was there. And that means Lou is down in P10. He's recovered well, I've got to say, in this race. But in terms of that incident, yeah, I don't think there's anything in that, to be honest. That definitely looks to me, from my perspective, if I was a steward, no further action. Maybe a slight racing incident. Montana probably couldn't give him enough room, because otherwise he would have been over the curb at turn 6. So there's my, yeah, there's my thought on that one, anyways, in terms of the incident. But the stewards will, of course, decide about that one. But the POV that I've seen on board with Lou, definitely think it's the sausage curb that's got him caught. The drivers are pitting in, so drivers are into the pit lane. Montana, Macho, YS Brand, Jensen, in fact, they're all coming in. Stephen Osh, though, deciding to stay out, and he will be our new leader here tonight in FRL F1. In fact, all the medium runners, I think, should be coming and staying out, and in fact, I think they are. So the medium runners are all staying out, apart from Vaporizer, who's into the pit lane. So Vaporizer's in. Everyone now is on a set of medium compounded tyres, but what this does is actually truncate this race into 2 races. Because we basically got the drivers who haven't pitted in, top 7, on that set of mediums, and then everyone who's on a fresh set of mediums, coming out in 8th and 9th, and they're going to struggle to try and find a way through in this safety car restart. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Neil Sonal saying in the chat he's probably right for the first time. Yeah, as I say, as I said it in commentary on that one there, I thought he got caught on the inside curb. There was only minimal contact with Montana, and obviously it's so tight coming through that chicane. If you've ever been side by side through that chicane, you'll know. The inside curb on the inside line, the curb's deadly on this game to begin off with, and that's why he has to take that run in towards turn 4. Plus you could argue Lou was carrying too much speed as well, and I think that might just be a factor in that as well. But as I say, could argue about this for the rest of the night. We're not going to, and of course the stewards will have a look into that one. But Stephen Osh now out on top, Marnix in second, Mentos in third, Ferrari's 2 and 3 at this point, McLaren's 4 and 5 as well with Ruti and Hawk. Jesse's saying he is the safety car, or he's in the safety car. Is the safety car going to be coming in this lap? I don't think it will. I think it'll be next lap around the safety car is going to be coming in, if I'm not mistaken, because I think we've only been under 1 lap of this safety car. So, oh no, actually, safety car's in this lap. So safety car in this lap, and Stephen Osh now the virtual Bert Marlander. So he's now the virtual safety car. There's already a bit of movement further down the field. His Vaporizer spun. He has spun. So Vaporizer has spun and has lost all of those positions. He was ahead of Lou, but he's now right down the back of the field, and he's got end plate damage. How's he done that? How's he done that? Lou will probably have the best view of that, to be honest. But Stephen Osh out on top. Monix in second. Mentos there in third. Stephen Osh now the virtual Bert Marlander. He's now the virtual safety car. We're still on board with Vaporizer's car. I don't know why we're on board with him. There's now Stephen, the Dutchman, at around a 50-mile-an-hour speed. Comes through turn 19, Latifi corner, and then through the right-hander of turn 20. Ah, Jesse saying he touched the back of Lou. Understandable, I think, with that right side end plate damage. Oh my goodness me! Stephen Osh has just nearly sent it on the curb and nearly sent it for a spin. Goodness me, but he recovers well, and Marnix is now under pressure from Mentos, who pulls the outside line in towards turn 1. We're back underway as Montana is going to launch one on Jona in towards turn number 1. very close to contact. LOE Division 1 champion forcing the TTML F2 champion to fight, but Yona gets through. Yona through, and he's into 7, and Montana has had to sit and suffer and wait in behind, because Macho and Wyatt Sprung are in behind as well, as Lou's got the move done on Bunty coming out of turn number 3, so nice move there by Lou. He's soon, he's into 15th, he's currently in net P8 I think, if I'm not mistaken, as well out on track. The YS brand on the back of Macho, Macho on the back of Montana, bit of weaving going on down the straight, trying to break that toe desperately. Straken is breaking the toe, Hawk is trying to break the toe to Rooty, and now Rocco's going to dive down the inside as a result, and Rocco's through and he's into 5th. Qualifying ban. What qualifying ban for Rocco? He's through and he's into 5th. Hawk there in 6th. Yona there in 7th. And now he's going to get hunted down again by Montana. Hawk's going to try and come back as Mentos and Monix now go side by side. And Mentos goes all the way around the outside of turn number 11. He's contacted there by Monix on the side pod. And Monix just about holds on to P2. Mentos there in 3rd. Bit of wishful thinking, I think, trying to go around the outside there by Mentos. He left too short of room on the inside curb, and now Marnix is 1.5 seconds behind Stephen Osh as a result of that contact. I'm only on lap 6. I think we've been commentating about half an hour at this point, but we are going still. Stephen Osh leads the way, Marnix in 2nd, Mentos there in 3rd. Nothing really happening, by the way, in terms of F2. And Vaporizer possibly blaming Davidenko as a result of his contact. So Vaporizer came in as a late minute reserve with Kalama, and Montana's going to dive it down the inside line towards turn 1. Job done. Montana down the inside line gets the job done. And as I was saying there, Vaporizer filling in for Kalama. He's down there in 19th position, and hopefully he's going to try and find something as Yona runs out wide. Tries to get the run towards 5 and 6, but doesn't get the move done, and now he's got to open hold kettle of fish because Macho, Wyatt Sprander through, there's another yellow flag, and it's a Vaporizer round through turn number 17. Goodness me. Oh, trying to clear my throat, apologies. Macho on the back of Yona. Here we go to the outside line. Montana's going to go around the outside of Hawk as well. This is going to be a brilliant move. We can both pull it off. Montana to the inside line of 8. Gets the job done. And Macho's going to do exactly the same thing, I think, to Yona. But Yona's putting up more of a fight. And now the Frenchman of YS Brand coming at him as well. QRT, man, might have to get out of the way for his own team rival at this point. Because Macho tries to go around the outside line. In through turn 11. And he gets the job done. Beautiful move by Macho. Beautiful fight that as well. Yona, to be fair, didn't want to give up position. He was fighting for position, and Yona there in 9th position. Wyatt Brand in 10th. Vaporizer into the pit lane there as well. But Stephen Osh, 1.5 seconds as Wyatt Brand absolutely sends it down the inside of Yona. And it's now Yona hunting days. Jensen goes around the outside of turn 18. And Yona's still there on the inside of do 19. It's going to end poorly for somebody. Yona's now in this fight as well, and Yona dug down the inside line. If I was Yona, I'd make a break into the pit lane at this point. And MATC gets in the act. Down the inside line. How many positions has Yona lost this lap around? It must be 6 or 7. There's MATC now side by side with them in towards turn number 1. He catches the curb on the inside. And they just about get through that safely. Oh. MATC on the back of Yona still. MATC's going to have a run in towards turn 5, but not going to get the move done from there. Hawk, by the way, is becoming the real cork in the bottle as Yona runs out wide again slightly. But Hawk is becoming the cork in the bottle. Montana's chasing down Rocco. These two have a good rivalry, by the way, in the past. Might have a resumption of that rivalry from earlier on in the season. Hawk comes across and Macho. Macho has to take avoiding action. And Wyatt Brand just comes through as well as Montana's through. And he's into 5th. And Jensen goes around the outside of Hawk as well. Goodness me. Bit of contact there. But Jensen's through and he's into 9th. And Hawk's just lost 3 positions as many corners. Honestly, what is this race? Mentor, side by side, it's 3 wide down the straight. Montana now trying to go over the outside of Ruti. Through turn number 11. This is lap 8, by the way. This is not the end of the race. Montana on the outside line at turn 14. Just about gets the job done, I think. He'll have the traction. Will he have the pace, though, as Yona is round? Coming through and he's out of the race through 13. That might be a safety car, and it is. Safety car, and Ruti just tapped the back there of Montana as well. Might have a 5-second penalty coming his way potentially, but Stephen Norshad on top, Marnik 2nd, Montana in 3rd, and for the 2nd time this race, we can breathe because safety car is out on track, and the owner there, 18th position, out of the race, and I have a feeling he got caught up in potentially a bit of contact. He was around Lou, Bunty, Davidenko, that sort of area, That's where he was. Montana now leads the way. Rocco now in second. It's an AlphaTauri 1-2. And that's big for that. And Jonas saying, what was that? It was sad and fun racing, I think, is the point of that. Let's have a look, actually. I'll go back on board with Lou's POV, because Lou was around him, I think, at that point. So we'll go on board. I'll just try and review his POV at this point. Yeah, Yona was ahead with Physical fighting. So I have a feeling Yona and Physical have had some sort of contact. They're going in towards turn 11. And... oh, wow! Jonas just absolutely sent it down the inside line. And that was on... I don't know who that was on. That was on Med-TC. That was down the inside on Med-TC. And Med-TC... has he come across on Yona, or was Yona just retired out on... well, he couldn't have retired out on track. But Yona at the session... I can't understand what happened there with that incident, to be honest. But yeah. Looked like it was an incident between Yona and Med-TC, potentially. And Mentos complaining about Monix's learning how to drive. I think, to be honest, they shouldn't be chatting in the chat rather than the racing out on track. But Montana leads the way, Rocco in second, Macho in third, and Rocco's the only man not to have came into the pit lane, and this is going to help him along later on in the race in terms of the set of soft compound of tyre. And hopefully we're going to be seeing some really good action out on track. But we are now in the safety car. What I'm going to do at this point, because we've got a little bit of a break in the action, I'm going to take a quick break from commentary, mute my mic so that you are killing my thought, and then I'll be back when the safety car comes back in. Should be next lap around and Vaporizer decides to get a move on, so I'll be back in probably around a minute or two. There we go. Clear my throat and we're back. Montana leads the way from Rocco in second, Macho in third. Ruti has decided to come back in the pit lane. I think it's mediums to the end. 18 laps on a set of mediums. I've seen work many times before around here. So Ruti's out of the pit lane. Going to be in 17th position. Vaporizer's coming from the final sector. And Ruti will be out the pit lane. And I wonder if the safety car is going to come in this lap or next lap around. I have a feeling with Vaporizer being off the tail, it'll be next lap around. So I'll have to wait and see on that one. F2, by the way, has been very, very quiet so far in terms of the Discord. If you're wondering why F2, as I say, is not live and you're tuning in for F1 maybe for the first time in your life, it's purely because F2 has no commentary. Has no commentary tonight. Oh, Stephen's on holiday, which I think I'd rather be, to be honest, at this point, than commentating on this in Abu Dhabi. I'm sure we all would rather be on holiday at this point. Some of us can't afford it, though, with the cost of living crisis and everything going on. But, and also, Bullboy decided to pull a clanger, and he mentioned that he was not going to be not going to be commentating, and that was 2 hours before. And I was searching very, very viciously for a TTML commentator to try and come in. None of them were available, so unfortunately you've only got me tonight on FRL channel, but I really hope you're enjoying it out on track regardless. Just in the incident with Mentos and Marnix, by the way, yeah, Mentos went around the outside of Marnix, and we saw that on stream, and it was a bit of a weird one, to be honest. I saw that on stream, and really, there was hardly any contact in it. It was just a pure hit of the side pod, and he had to obviously cut behind him. Mentos now behind Marnix, so stewards might have a look into that one. But in terms of position out on track, they're both still the same position. 11th and 12th albeit, but they're in next, second and third out on track at this point, potentially. As we will now go for another lap, I think, underneath the safety car. So while you are in the chat, let me know what you thought of, if you've seen it, the F1 2022 features trailer that came out earlier on. I thought it was really good. The F1 Life looks really, really entertaining. It's a bit like 2K. If you've ever been on a 2K game, like NBA, for example, it's a bit of a like customization option compared to that, and I think it's really good, to be honest, in terms of the action, in terms of the development of the game. Also, in terms of what I've heard in potential DLC tracks. Now, do not quote me on this. I only saw an interview by Lee Mather on this, and crossplay is going to be coming in. I've heard it's going to be around September, October time, so around 2 or 3 months into the game life cycle. And around the same point, DLC tracks will begin to be mapped out as well. But I'm sure after release, a couple of weeks after release, they normally release development map for the rest of the game. So, I have a feeling it'll be a development map that's going to last through pretty much until the end of the game cycle. That's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully we don't get any glitches in terms of online or anything tonight, not in terms of tonight, but in terms of the new game. 7 even 30 in the comment section saying as well, great commentary, keep it up. My voice, as you can probably tell, might go before lap 28. I will try my best to get through this without needing any sort of break in commentary. I'm a man for my words, so I'm going to try and get through it as clean as possible. Why I hope Jesse was alongside me tonight, to be honest, but the safety car should be coming in this lap, be coming in towards turn 11, and spot on cue, safety car is coming in this lap, and it is now Montana, the virtual Burmanander. He's now the virtual safety car, and I have a feeling, because the safety car is quite slow through this final sector, Montana will lead them at a bit of a slow pace until turn 20, where we'll decide to go at this point. Jesse saying as well, only 1.5 days away, and it's his birthday already. Time is there going quick, and he's there next week, which is good to see. Saving my voice at least. James Nilzano saying in the chat, James was VIP, not available for F2. No, he put in the attendance chat that he wouldn't be able to make it in the commentators chat. Lewis was apparently rumoured to maybe do it as well. He put it down, he wasn't going to be attending either. So I had to go literally and spawn and try and get QRT Storm in to try and commentate. A few others were asked as well. Nobody was available tonight, which is unfortunate, but they're going to miss on this because Montana now under the virtual Burmanander. What a restart this is, by the way. Helicopter cam. Montana through the final corner leads the way across the line to start lap 12, and Montana has to get heat into those tyres. Try and desperately warm them up with Rocco there in second, Macho there in third, YS Brennan fourth. Then coming on board with Lou on the back of Physical, coming through turn 2 and turn 3. We had the helicopter cam through there, but Lou's right on the back of Physical. Was he going to try and lunge it for a move? This is what he did with Montana, and he thinks second of it. Pretty much best, I think, to try and obviously do that. Stephen Osh on the back of Bunty. He looks like he's lagging slightly. There's a spinner in the background. It's Harmon that's round coming through turn number 4. I think he might have got caught in the inside curb there. Montana leads the way though, Rocco second, Macho third, Marnix on the back of Stephen Osh, 10th and 11th, and in fact Stephen's going to get the run on Bunty to the inside line in towards turn 8. Should be the job done in terms of the grip level here. Stephen Osh on the outside line, beautiful move that. Bunty avoided him in terms of contact, nice move, Stephen Osh through, and he's into 9th position with Marnix chasing down Bunty. And Mentos chasing down Bunty as well. So the two Ferraris now maybe going to squish the Aston Martin. Trasamach and Bunty collides with Stephen Arsh. He went too far late on the brakes. He was brought into a mistake by Marnix there. No contact at all from our end. We saw that from our end. Marnix made no contact with Bunty. Bunty completely messed up his braking point. Got forced into a mistake by Marnix. And Bunty now has collected Stephen Arsh as a result. And we're back to square one with them both. So Monarch's there now into 9th. Fortunate, I've got to say. Really fortunate indeed. Not to get caught up in that collision either. People might be saying, what on earth was Bunty doing there? Just purely missed his braking point. That's what he was doing there. And unfortunately he's now right down at the back of the field. Bunty race ban potentially coming his way. Yeah, I think, to be honest, we rolled on board with that. And Marnix just looked like he basically forced Bunty into a mistake when defending the position. Harmon has retired into the pit lane, and Bunty is also retired into the pit lane as well, which is unfortunate. So Bunty's out of the race, Harmon out of the race, and yeah, Bunty moment, round, don't know how many we've had this season, 4, 5, 6, maybe even more, I don't know. But yeah, Bunty missed out his braking point, and look on that on the face of it, yeah, I mean, messing with braking point, he's collided with Stephen Osh, and Stephen Osh is down in 16th position. Possibly a penalty coming Bunty's way there, I think, to be honest. MedTC on the back of Davydenko, they're side by side, and MedTC gets the job done. He's through into 12th. Davydenko there in 13th, Ruti there in 14th. And Ruti, who I said might be 3rd position. I'm looking on that and thinking that was a bit of wishful thinking. Davydenko, though, on the outside on MedTC. Goes around the outside. MedTC's on the inside line for 12, and there's a bit of desync between them both. And do you know what? Ruti's going to be letting here as well. Ruti to the inside line. Just taps the back end of MedTC, but gets the job done. He's through and he's into 13th. MedTC holds on to 12th as well in all that. And Stephen Osh is going side by side with Vaporizer. Oh my goodness me. Bit of contact there, put into the right direction once again by Stephen, as Marnix has, I think, lost it coming through turn 19 there slightly, so Marnix has literally spun. Stephen Osh, oh, and in the wall! Vaporizer cuts across and Stephen Osh, 3-second penalty, and if that's not going to be a retirement, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Stephen Osh into the pit lane, and that is him pretty much out of contention. Vaporizer out of contention, and Marnix, I think, hit the wall out of 19, and Vaporizer retires out of the race in the pit lane. And, yeah, it's just silly bits of contact. It's F1. These are the creme de la creme of driving, and at the moment, majority of them are creme de la creme. The rest of them, just a little bit of squished chocolate in a lunch bag, to be honest. YS Brand on the back of Macho. And Macho trying to be Macho Man on the back of Rocco in towards turn number 8. Doesn't get the job done, but again, forcing for a move, and Macho nearly spun on the inside curb. And YS Brand nearly forced Macho into a mistake. And that is, again, what happened with the Ferrari of Marnix earlier on. And now Macho all of a sudden is under pressure from YS Brand. Here comes the Frenchman around the outside line. He's not going to get the job done. Mentos though is to the outside line of Physico. In towards 11, gets the job done. He's going to rejoin the pack as well on the back of this. Montana though leads the way. Rocco has been the Perez to the Verstappen in Abu Dhabi. And Montana leading the way by 3 seconds. Macho though again down to the inside line. He spun. Macho has spun. And there's patience as a virtue, and then there's that. Macho getting too pedantic in terms of the moves, trying to go down the inside line, and this is what happens when you're too aggressive and you want to get from A to B and you don't have respect for each other out on track. This is what happens, and unfortunately you get cost by it, and that was all down to Macho on the inside line. Oh, hopefully these driving standards improve. Montana leads the way. Rocco in 2nd. YS Brand there in 3rd. Oh dear. Jensen in 4th. Lou there in 5th. Marnix picks up a 3-second penalty. There are the penalties, by the way. Halfway through now. Yarrow, Physico, Marnix, Stephen Osh. All 3-second penalties. And speaking of the 3s, YS Brand's now going to go to the 2s, because he's got to get the inside line down the straight in towards turn 8 and gets the job done for 2nd. The Frenchman really impressing me here tonight. The Alfa Romeo. Montana's obviously in a different world out in front. For YS Brand now, he's got the pressure applied back on, because here comes Rocco once again. And you know Rocco, he likes to fight, and he will like to attack as well. And Rocco pulls the outside line. YS Brand comes across on him, and Rocco, I think, might be just enticed to try and go around the outside line. He's not in the end. That was smart driving from Rocco there. Could have easily got into contact with YS Brand. Smart driving, thought of it better, and that's what we like to see. And that is what we'll like to see. Nilzano saying in the chat as well, do you think Montana can make it to the end? No. No. I think MedTC, Ruti and that could make it to the end. But 23 laps on a set of mediums? They're going to be 80% warm by the end. At least 80% warm by the end. Montana though leading the way. Slap 16 out of 28. YS Brandon 2nd. Rocco there in 3rd. Now becoming again the cork in the bottle with Jensen in behind. Championship as it stands, by the way, Montana will take more than a race wins advantage ahead of Jensen going into the final few races of the season. I think it'll be something like 34 points. I think I'll make that out as MedTC absolutely sends it on Physico down the inside line. The Finns have got no respect for each other out on track, and it's really good to see that 8th and 9th position And Jensen gets through on Rocco and he's through and he's into third. But Matey City through on Physical and he's down the inside line and Ruti's going to follow through. It's a Finn orgy out on track here in Abu Dhabi. That sounded very wrong, I apologise. Matey C in 8th, Ruti in 9th, Physical in 10th. The Finns all pretty much clashed together on the run down and towards now. And Lou, by the way, is recovering very well. He's up into 4th now, passing Rocco to the inside line of 11. Gets the job done, he's through. But yeah, that was a bit of a... I don't know, a Finn orgy is probably the best way I could describe that, to be honest. Menti C, Ruti, Physico, all the Finns battling for one. All for one and one for all, it seems, out on track in terms of the Musketeers. Menti C through he's into 8th, Ruti in 9th, Physico in 10th. And I apologise to any kid that might be watching that and doesn't know what an orgy is. Menti C in 7th. Now, he gets the job done on Mentos. I don't know where the stream is suddenly turning. But we'll get the composure back because it's lap 17. It's Montana that leads the way. From YS Brand in 2nd, Jensen there in 3rd, Lou in 4th, Rocco in 5th, Joro in 6th, Meti C 7th, Mentos in 8th, Ruti in 9th. Physical run off the top 10. Oh, and Montana nearly had a moment coming through turn number 3. And look at the time he's just lost. He's only lost 2/10 per second. Blatt, maybe 2/10 per second. That might just look into him at the end of the race. Jensen now in a more promising position. The gap now would be 32 points at this stage in this race. So 32 points will be the gap at this stage. If it was to end as it is, could well do. But I think Jensen will be motivated to get this 2nd position on the back of Montana. And down the straight we've got a yellow flag, and then it's Marnix who is speed off track coming through turn number 3 and 4. The right-hander there. And he is off track and he's round and he's down at the back of the field now. Meti C picks up a penalty. Mentos and Ruti are fighting as well. And now speaking of fighting as well, and behind Yarvel going side by side. Mentos and Ruti going side by side as well. To the outside line goes Mentos. Ruti's on the inside line. Somebody's going to have to bail. And to be fair, Ruti gets that job done. But does he? Because there's Mentos back on the inside line of him. Through 10-14. And Physical's just watching this thinking, go on, you guys contact. I pick up 2-3 positions at this point. Ruti... Mentos sends it down the inside line, and again, silly contact, and Physical has to take avoiding action. Good job the Goldstein system came into play, and Physical's been held up by 2 seconds there, and that was just silly again. Absolutely silly. And Niels, in response to your question, I knew he'd come in the pit lane. Montana is in from the race lead. He's not making those sides to the end. This will be for a set of softs. It's not, for a set of mediums. Correct myself. For a set of mediums. Where's he going to come out on track? He's behind as that Hawk, I think, has spun. Coming through the final corner there. So Hawk has spun. I think he just came into the pit lane. So he managed to get that car back going. Montana, though, out of the pit lane. How far is he behind in terms of the gap to the leader? 16.5 seconds. 16 seconds coming out of the pit lane. Between YS Brand and Montana. 16 seconds in 11 laps worth of racing. That's too much. These guys could go to the end. If they're good, as Monarchs have retired into the pit lane. These tyres could go to the end potentially for these guys. They're really good on their tyres. Ruti absolutely sends it down on Rocco. Beautiful move. That might be overtaking the season. Ruti through and he's into 8th. Rocco in 9th. That was absolutely pure in terms of that move. And do you know what? He's going to get Meti C as well. Ruti absolutely flying. This is, by the way, currently, as Davidenko has spun as well. Oh no, he's been overtaken. In fact, there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's why I'm getting confused. Ruti on the back of Meti C. This is technically, if the guy's in the top 4 to pit, this is technically for the net race lead. Out on track. So Meti C, Ruti, the Finns, 5th and 6th, currently net 1st and 2nd. Drivers might pit into the, come into the pit lane before the end of the race. Nobody out of the top 4 is. Oh, I thought Yara was going to come in there. He just made a moment coming out of turn 20. And in terms of Montana, by the way, is there's a pit stop. Physical's in. So Physical's into the pit lane. Responds. Going to probably try and undercut everyone else. Maybe go for a set of softs. 9 laps. Or 10 laps. Yeah, no set of softs could get to the end though, I think. So Physical's in. Set of soft compound tyres. They're on. Montana's got Mentos in front of him. Now, the last time Mentos and Montana were side by side, pretty sure they came into contact. Let's hope it's not going to happen again and it's not going to be a repeat. Frenchman, though, YS Branad in front, the Brit of Jensen in 2nd. And Lou in third, the Dutchman. Sort of like the entente cordiale, to be honest, in first, second and third at this point. You're there in fourth, Métis in fifth, Ruti there in sixth, and Ruti, I think, might be close to the back of Métis, but we're going to run on board with Jensen, because here he comes on the back of YS Brand, pulls to the outside line, and he gets the job done, and YS Brand just lets him go. So Jensen Thuney's into the lead. Now, YS Brand has done that either to get DRS, or, hear me out on this, maybe come in the pit lane. Montana to the inside on Mentos, gets the job done, purple middle sector, Montana's flying. Montana's absolutely carving his way through the field. It's 12 seconds now, the gap. He's got 2 seconds over the last 3 laps. Really good stuff for Montana. Can he get to the end of the race, though, before catching these guys? These guys stay out, it's going to be trouble for Montana. Jensen, though, leading the way. YS Brand in second. Lou in third. By the way, how is Lou third? How is Lou third? After what happened earlier on in the race to him. Brilliant comeback. Absolutely remarkable comeback. And he may be one of the favourites, do you know what, to take this race win. You're there in fourth. Métis in fifth. Ruti in sixth. It's the second battle out on track. Then in seventh is Macho. NSX, I think, are probably going to play a team game here because Montana's catching Macho. Macho's on 13 lap pressure tyres. Ruti, by the way, absolutely sends it on Métis. And Métis is going to get the traction. Now down the straight, side drafting operation. Maybe a 3 wide scenario here. 2 LFR men. And Métis, a former F1 Esports Challengers driver. 3 wide in towards turn number 8. And Ruti's going to get them both potentially down the inside line. Métis gives them the space. And the Mercedes just about hangs on, and Yoa's going to get the undercut on them both again. Yoa and Ruti pulls that wide there slightly. It's going to be 3 wide in towards turn 11. The Mercedes now under pressure. He's been swamped by both sides. Ruti down the middle. Yoa on the outside line. And Ruti gets the job done. Thuney's into fourth. Brilliant battle. Best battle of the season. Ruti Thuney's into fourth. Yoa there in fifth. Métis in sixth. Not an inch of room given. Perfect driving by all 3. Brilliant stuff. That's FRL F1 at its finest. Ruti Thuney's into fourth, and now he sets about chasing after Jensen and Lou, because YS Brand suddenly is back in the lead of the race. I don't know where that's came from. YS Brand through, and he's into the lead of the race. Jensen in second, Lou in third. We've got 8 laps to go in Abu Dhabi. Who said Abu Dhabi was boring? Métis picked up another penalty. But who said Abu Dhabi was boring? I didn't. Hopefully you didn't in the chat either. Frenchman leads the way, YS Brand. From the Brit of Jensen in second, the Dutchman of Lou in third. Ruti there in fourth. Macho there is, Montana there is in seventh. A 7.5 seconds off the lead. Montana's absolutely carving his way through the field, but my concern is he going to go aggressive on those tyres? I think he is. Judging by how much he's closing up, I think he's going very aggressive on those tyres. He's going to get to the back of these guys. These guys are going to put up a big fight. And Montana's maybe not going to get through. That's my big concern. That's my huge concern. Jensen on the back of YS Brand. No concern for him. He's not going to go for the move in towards turn number 8. Lou's right on the back of him there. And Lou's going to get the switchback, I think. Coming out of turn 8 and 9. And now on the run towards turn number 10 and 11. YS Brand under pressure. Jensen and DRS. Is he going to dive it down the inside line? No. Sits back and waits. Lou, though, goes down the inside line. It's a bit risky. Jensen's down on the outside line, there's contact. Lucian not been there on the inside line, and Ruti's got contacted as well. Left side and plate damage on the car. I think Ruti's actually just about got away with that, to be honest. Baloo there on the inside line. 7th position. And again, it's one of those instances where you just look at the screen and just think, I probably could have done better than that. I could have avoided that. Lou could have easily avoided that. Didn't need to put him in the same place as what he did. And now, as a result, he's down in 7th, and he's just lost a potential podium. Silly. Really silly. YS Brand leading the way. Jensen there in 2nd. Ruti there in 3rd. Métis in 4th. Yoa in 5th. Montana in 6th. Lou there in 7th. Macho there in 8th. Lou has still got a chance to get this race win, but it's now all over and done with, I think. There's 6.5 laps to go. And, yeah, Lou, to be honest, I know there's another 4-man, Luke Leroy, I apologise about that, but it's just frustrating to see. From my perspective as a commentator, what would you rather see? Clean racing or silly sort of dives down the inside line like that. Lou's going to let Macho through, I think, here. They're going to go side by side down the straight, in fact. So Macho and Lou are side by side here, 7th and 8th. But I'll pose that question to you. What would you rather see? Clean racing out on track and everyone fighting fairly? I know every single race is not going to be 100% perfect. But yeah, it's just silly. It's just... yeah, I don't know what to find the words for that, to be honest. Montana there in 5th. Gets the job done on Yarrow. Yarrow didn't really put up a fight there. Jesse saying as well, it's frustrating to say this while you were engineering Lou. Yeah, totally agree, I think, on that one. But yeah, YS Brand leads the way. Jensen in 2nd, Ruti in 3rd. Do you know how I said I wanted better driving standards? I think it's got a little bit worse, to be honest. But with 6 laps to go, you never know, we could still have a good fight. Ruti, by the way, is on the back of Jensen. Clearly no ill effects of that incident with Lou. And he's there, in P3, chasing down Jensen. And Jensen is the one that obviously got caught up in that incident. Montana's now joined this pack. YS Brand's beginning to get away. And the more that YS Brand decides to get away over these next few laps, could determine the race win. Montana is on the back of ATC though. This is going to be pretty interesting towards the end of the race. Jesse's put in the chat, yeah, totally agree. I think safety car potentially will be the only hope to many drivers in this race, to be honest. But for now, Montana on the back of ATC. ATC is going to use no DRS, in fact, and I think he was outside of DRS range. Ruti goes for Jensen, though, into P2. Jensen there 3rd. Montana now 4th. And the Swiss man on an absolute mission to get this race win. As I say, I'm still not sure if he's going to get onto the back of YS Brand before the end of the race. And now Jensen's going to fight with Ruti once again. This is all kicking off in front of Montana. This is not good for Montana. YS Brand leads the way. Jensen in 2nd, Ruti in 3rd. Montana's going to be behind these guys for one more lap at least. I have a feeling, though. Come back to me in a lap's time when I say this, but I think it's going to be turn 8. 3 wide, Montana gets the inside of both of them and gets the job done, and he's into 2nd. Come back at me in about a minute and a half's time with that one. But yeah, YS Brand, the more that Jensen and Ruti hold each other up, the more Montana's going to lose in terms of his tyres, and the more YS Brand is going to gain in terms of the advantage. Not over with for the Frenchman. He's doing a really good job. He's now a QRT man, and it's fair to say why he's a QRT man. He leads the way from VSR Jensen. There's a 100th race league performance here. There's a yellow flag, and that's Mentos round, I think, coming through turns 17 and 18. So he's round coming through there. And Davidenko, I think, tried to force the inside line there on him there, and he actually gets the job done. So fair play. Ruti on the back of Jensen. Look at the gap, though. It's going up. YS Brand is 2.5 seconds clear of Montana. Jensen is trying to drag Ruti and Montana into contention. He hasn't got really any pace, though, as it now begins to glisten in terms of the night sky in Abu Dhabi with 4.5 laps to go. Montana, look at this. Is this going to be the moment? Pulls to the middle of the track, goes through the middle of them both, and Ruti's on the outside line of him. Montana's deep on the brakes, but it's job done. It's a bit of wheel banging, but it's job done for Montana. He's through and he's into 2nd. Didn't quite get it right. I thought it was going to be inside line. I'd take that regardless. It was 3 wide, and Montana through and he's into 2nd. And now he's in clear sailing to get this race win off YS Brand, who was there. And now, this helps out Ruti, Jensen, ATC in this battle as well, because they're not going to have the pace of Montana. To stick within a 2nd, though, they're going to be on the back in no time. Oh, what a thrilling ending this is going to be in Abu Dhabi. Macho's going side by side with Lou, by the way, coming through 14, and Lou waltzes around the outside line. Think he kept that position. Good fight there between them both. We roll on board. Macho tries to get back at him, and in towards turn 17. Doesn't get the move done through there. Lou 7th, Macho and 8th. That's another battle to focus on. The gap now under a 2nd. And Ruti and Jensen being dragged along as well. This is not, and I repeat, not over and done with just yet. YS Brand leading the way, doing a phenomenal job out in front. Montana, 16 seconds, I may remind you, behind, with 10, 11 laps to go when he came in. And now he's on 7 lap old mediums as a yellow flag in sector 3. Mentos is round through turn 19. Don't think he'll deploy a safety car. It's too late, I think, in the day. Montana, though, this is for the race lead. This is Extenders Championship lead as well. He's on the back of YS Brand, and he's not even breaking sweat. pulls the inside line. The Frenchman defends, but what a fail. Montana Thuney's into the lead of the race. And YS Brand, unless he's got jet-propelled wings on that Alfa Romeo, he's not going to come back. And in fact, look at that, he's just pulled away by 5/10, and that's what 13-lap fresher mediums does to you. So Montana Thuney's into the lead. Métis C and Jensen, both teammates in TTML F1, having a fight for 4th. Métis C suddenly losing contention. Jensen's tyres have eroded away. Big time. Big time. He is struggling now, maybe to get even to the end of the race on those tyres. They look shot. And he's lost pace as well. And even potentially he's going to lose maybe even a top 5 finish at this rate, because Yaro is, what, 4.2 seconds behind. Yellow's tyres are probably better. Have to wait and see. 3 laps to go though. Montana sets his sights on race victory once again in Abu Dhabi. It could potentially be a 5th win in 6 races for Montana here tonight. It was 4 out of the last 5, and the only one that he didn't race was the one I believe he couldn't attend. So Montana leads the way. Lou is into the pit lane and retires from the race. Lou retires from the race, and that just proves a carbon copy. I know it's frustrating, but that was a point-scoring finish for Lou, and he DNFs out of his final race in FRL and leaves in potential a point-scoring finish. Disappointing to say the least. That Rocco's on the back of Macho. Oh, Macho parks Rocco, and Rocco's picked up damage. What on earth was Macho doing there? And they're side by side coming down the straight in towards turn number 8. Left side unplate damage on Rocco's car, and Macho's just getting out of the way. Was Macho trying to let him through for the DRS? The only way I could have described that, what I've just seen. That was really strange. Really, really strange. And Macho's now struggling. Rocco's now going to struggle. And Physicals possibly could be on for a really good finish here. As now Macho pulls the outside line on Rocco. Sails by. Defends the inside line. Is there any need to defend that aggressively though? Macho there through and he's into 7th. Rocco's got left side end plate damage. You can see it from the helicopter cam. He's got left side end plate damage on that car. And through left-handed corners, that's going to be an absolute nightmare to drive. And Physical, if I was you, and if you're listening to the stream, I'd just probably back off and maybe hope that Rocco goes wide and you can pick up a position here. And Rocco, that's exactly what's just happened. He goes into the back of him and Physical picks up the 3 position. Rocco Thuney's into 9, but now he's down, probably out of this race I think as well, and Rocco's going to come in the pit lane. Frustrating race. He had a qualifying ban to begin off with, didn't get informed about it, and now look at the way his race is ending, potentially with a fastest lap attempt to happen, which at least is good. He'll continue on. He's outside of the points. He may as well continue on and just try and hope that he can have some sort of good action towards the end of the race. As Physical, Macho get the job done. So Physical Thuney's into 7th, Macho there done in 8th, maybe a let through there once again, but Montana leading the way. Ruti in 2nd. You all laughed at me when I said Ruti was going for 3rd, but I'll tell you what, you're not laughing now, are you? Ruti in 2nd has done a really good job in this race. Montana leading the way has looked imperious. He looked dominant. Ruti, though, probably going to get my driver of the day vote, because I'm really impressed with his driving. He's been in the right positions at the right times. That move down the inside of turn 8 was one of the cleanest I've seen around Abu Dhabi. 3 wide scenario early on in the race as well. Ruti, really good driver. If this man is not in F1 Esports Challengers next season, or for the Pro exhibition, I'd be very, very surprised. I'd be really surprised, because he is, on his day, maybe, I dare say, I'm probably going to get a lot of controversy now by saying this, possibly one of the best drivers, I think, on the PS platform. Macho picks up a 3-second penalty. Montana sets on the final lap, though, here in Abu Dhabi, in what has been a crazy race. In terms of battles, in terms of action, in terms of safety cars, you name it, it's been an Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, alright. And now, Montana comes through the left-hand of turn 7. He's got basically 3.5 kilometres from this point to the checkered flag. And Montana has absolutely taken the field apart in this race. It's been another Dominant performance. His form speaks for itself. It's going to be 5 out of 6 out of the last 6 races he has won. And Montana, as long as he keeps it within the white line, and as long as he keeps it on track and doesn't crash, he's going to be on. Maybe for 5-second success here. As he now comes down the straight, in towards turn number 11. Montana has done a brilliant job through turn 11, through the right hander of 12, through the left hander of 13. It's a dominant win, alright, for Montana. The Swiss man comes around turn 14. Now the triple right to go. And then through the final sector to commence. And Montana coming through. It is getting boring at the minute, I totally agree. But Montana round the final couple of corners. There's a good battle, by the way, going on. Macho, Stephen Osh and Davydenko having a fight as well further down the field. But Montana round the final corner. The Swiss man is superior here in Abu Dhabi. The Swiss man to the line. Montana wins in Abu Dhabi. Ruti, in the end, comes a really good P2. Brilliant drive from Ruti. YS brand as well. 23 lap on those mediums. He finishes in 3rd. His best results of the season. METC picks up a penalty as well, so Jensen gets 4th. METC there in 5th. Yorrell there in 6th. Still all happening in behind, because Macho, Davydenko and Stephen Usher only covered by a second run around the final corner. They're going to finish, I think, in the same positions. They do indeed. So it's Yorrell 6th, Physical 7th, Macho in 8th, Davydenko 9th, Stephen Usher in 10th. Rocco, what could have it been for Rocco? What could have it been for Rocco if he didn't get caught up in that silly contact with Macho? Coming through the right hander of turn 11, runs the line and finishes in 11th and steals the fastest lap of the race. Hawks, lap time at the minute. I don't think this is going to be anywhere near Rocco's sort of lap time, I'm afraid to say, for the German. Running around the final couple of corners, on board with him. It's going to be nowhere near a 135, I don't think. So Hawk, currently Rocco's fastest lap. Will Mentos try and beat it? Hawk to the line, 37.3. And Mentos is down this time, actually out on track. So Mentos just want, I think, to get the car home here. Track extending like an absolute boss as he comes through turn 19. Then through the right hander of 20, and then through car number 21. Comes through turn 21. And Mentos throughout the final corner to the line. Doesn't get the fastest lap of the race, so it's Rocco's fastest lap for sure. Oh, Abu Dhabi's over and done with, thank goodness. LFR Ruti gets Driver of the Day award by in-game fans, and do you know what? He gets my Driver of the Day as well. That was a phenomenal drive. Absolutely phenomenal drive. And Montana, once again, for the 5th time in 6 weeks, picks up the F1 2021 copies, gives it out to his race fans, and he's at the top step of the podium once again. And I believe with Jensen finishing in 4th, it's a 12-13 point swing. So the gap, I think, is 35 points going into next week. Or avoiding any sort of steward penalties, of course, that might potentially come his way. T-Hawk's in the chat, call me RuPaul, because I got all the track. That's hilarious. Montana takes the win. From Ruti there in 2nd, YS Brand there in 3rd, Jensen in 4th, METC in 5th, Yorrell in 6th, Physical in 7th, Macho in 8th, Davydenko in 9th, Stephen Osh ran off the top 10, Rocco in 11th, will pick up that fastest lap of the race, 35.4 from him, considerably quicker than everyone else. Montana would get fastest lap though, if that wasn't the case. Out of the top 10 that was. Hawk in 12th, Mentos in 13th. Good on Mentos continuing, by the way. He had a nightmare of a race. Another consistent finish in 13th. Lou, Marnix, Vaporizer, Bunty, Harman, Yona and Ryan all DNFing out on track. And do you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to go blue screen and go and invite the top 3 in, which I should be able to do without any sort of bother here tonight. And I'll get the top 3 in very soon indeed. Of course, it is Montana, Ruti, and YS Brand who we're looking for. And there's YS Brand. Montana is not there, and Ruti is not there either. So I'm going to have to type them, which is absolutely typical. But while we do that, let me know in the comment section who your driver of the day was out on track. Zook, by the way, put in the comments saying, Rucci's been amazing all season. I think he might have been able to win the championship next season, or at least give Montana and Jensen a massive scrap next season if he's here every week. Yeah, totally agree. Rucci, as I said in the chat there, in the commentary, possibly, if he really puts his mind to it and he really improves as a driver, watch out for him in F1 Esports Pro Exhibition and in the Challenges. He's going to be there or thereabouts, I think. Montana's probably going to be even further ahead of him. Don't get me wrong, but Ruti, I think, is probably the best newcomer to the league, and it's really impressive to see. And of course, we need to invite Montana as well. So I'll invite Montana in, get the top 3 interviews done, and then I'll be very happy to end off the stream because my voice is absolutely shot after that one. But we'll get back into the lobby and we will get all 3 of them in. And hopefully they'll be able to join very soon indeed. Oh, and there's a bit of diluted gone down the wrong way. That's terrible. Goodness me. I believe, though, we've got Montana alongside me in the comment box. Montana, are you here?
Yes, more or less.
Good evening. How on earth have you done another race win? Because you pitted in 16... No, actually, we'll come back to your race first. Talk us through that lap 1, turn 4 incident between you and Lou. Did you realise there was a little bit of contact between you both?
Yes, I just don't understand it, to be honest. It's lap 1, he's the quickest guy, and turn 4 of all places, he's sending one to the inside. I left space, I actually went wide and deep, but that's not how you win a league race, so yeah, no penalty for me there. And yeah, just a weird one.
Yeah, definitely not. I saw that on a POV shot, and yeah, it looked like he got caught on the sausage curb, which then forced him across into you off the camber of the corner, and that's where the contacts happen. He's caught your rear left tyre, so that's where the contacts happen. Stewards will have a look into that, obviously. It will probably get reported, I'm sure. But it's your 5th win in 6 races, and dare I say it was probably one of your most dominant race wins of the season.
I really enjoyed this one, to be honest. You can always play around a bit with strategy, and first I was worried because my race pace was shocking, on softs at least. I had to do some sketchy moves in the middle part of the race, be a bit lucky there to get away with some. And yeah, a bit frustrating with some traffic, but yeah, after that, just surprised no one else pitted because fresh tires are obviously OP, as you saw. And the only thing that could have destroyed it was another safety car, but yeah, enjoyed this race very much, to be honest.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch, certainly from my perspective. I was convinced, by the way, when you came in the pit lane, that you weren't going to get that 16.5 seconds back. And I realised in the first 2 laps, I think, he gained like 4 seconds. And I was thinking, yeah, he's on for this. He's on for this to try and get this race win. And I think just comes to show how imperious you were, of course, in terms of the tyres out on track. Talk us through that 3 wide overtake, by the way, down towards turn 8 as well. Because it was literally a parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah, I was not sure where to go really. I knew I had to get past Jensen, and then the plan was to get past Ruti on the next straight. And it was just appearing that I had a good speed there, so I trust them both, especially Jensen, so I knew I could put it there and they know I was there. And yeah, fresher tires, easily outbrake them and out-traction them for the next straight.
Yeah, it was a perfect move to see, obviously. Going into next week as well, I need to get the calendar up just to remind myself. And we go to the United States next week. Are you a fan of the track? And if so, are you going to win again?
I think you've seen me do a couple of decent laps there in your commentating history. I really enjoy it. And I haven't driven it in like 6 or 7 months. So yeah, will be fun. I may not have much time to put into that because I have some exams coming up. But I'll give it a go. Just score some decent points again and I'll be happy, to be honest.
Yeah, hopefully, you never know, you might be on the verge of being crowned champion. With only 3 races to go, you've got, I believe, a 35-point advantage going into next week. So as long as you outscore Jensen by... Well, basically, Jensen needs a DNF, I think, and you need to win for it to be out of sight, I think, in terms of the championship. But regardless, we'll get to that next week. Go and enjoy your evening, Montana.
Thank you. Thanks for the comments. Looking forward to watch the stream back.
You are very welcome indeed. It was a bit like a solo David Allison, to be honest, tonight, but fully enjoyed it for sure. And yeah, it was really good from my perspective, so hopefully you enjoyed watching that back. I'm not sure if we've got anybody else here in the party. I'm going to quickly go blue screen and check. I think it's just you and me.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. So I know Ruti normally doesn't join for the interviews. YS Band, of course, finishing up that P3 as well. Brilliant drive from everyone out on track. Driving standards, though, very silly instance out on track, to be honest. And hopefully, driving standards will improve going into next week at COTA, at the Circuit of the Americas. Normally get a good race around there. Are we going to see Montana possibly pick up a 6th win out of 7 races? Maybe put one hand on that title next week? You have to tune and find out next week for FRL F1. And I think rounds off very neatly indeed. Of course, more action, as I've alluded to, coming next week. F3 and F4 at 7 PM UK time on Monday. F1 and F2, 7 PM UK time on Tuesday. Hopefully we're going to be seeing, and you never know, there might be a champion or two crowned next week as well in COTA. But for myself, for Montana, of course, big thank you to the interview there. Much appreciated as always. I'm now going to go. My voice is absolutely aching. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.